Shakur, give me a call. Would love to make a fight with you. He made a statement. That's the bottom line. And I think when you're in that position, when you're the #1 contender in every organization, you have to make a statement like that. And that's exactly what he did. He was relentless. He took a few shots because he's very awkward, as we saw with Pitbull, where he took him the distance. So I think this win for Zepeda was excellent, and now we go for the world title.
After countless offers and statements issued by various promotion companies, allegedly Shakur may have made his choice to go with Golden Boy Promotions after the ultimatum by Oscar De La Hoya. Meanwhile, Bob Arum, former promoter of Shakur and the CEO of Top Rank, has come forward to express his opinions about Shakur not only leaving Top Rank to become a free agent, but also rejecting their offer to join them once again. Bob, though looking disappointed at the loss of such a young talent, still showed respect towards Shakur, calling him an honorable fighter who withheld his side of the contract till the end. Bob stated, "Shakur has lived up to every word in the contract. He performed admirably, and I wish him all the luck in the world. Now hopefully, from the standpoint of Top Rank, he'll come back down the road so we can promote some more fights for him. But even if he doesn't, he's lived up to the contract, and I have great respect for him and his ability." Addressing the allegations made by Shakur about him protecting Lomachenko and not making that fight happen, despite various chances, Bob stated how sometimes things like these are not in the promoter's control, as it all comes down to the fighters themselves whether they want to fight someone or not, and in this case, Loma did not want to fight Shakur. Bob then went on to advise Shakur to not focus too much on other people's opinions, especially if they are not professionally educated about these matters themselves. He said, "These guys like him don't realize other fighters have a say in things. He paints a picture. Everybody is a puppet but him, like I can make any fight I want. Listening to pals and strangers on the internet doesn't serve Shakur because those folks have their agendas and are not versed in the realities of big-time prize fighting. He has some good people around him, but the street people who talk to him don't understand." Though these statements given by Bob may show that the relationship between him and Shakur is somewhat tolerable after their separation, however, in reality, Shakur's departure was anything but amicable. Tired of the constant criticism and the whole drama that unfolded on the night when he faced Artem, Shakur gave an explosive interview later stating how all these positive statements made by Bob are nothing but a facade, as his company was the one who tried to sabotage his fight and his future. Shakur said, "Their purpose is to destroy me by any means necessary. The arena was packed, I was a draw, and they couldn't stop me. Top Rank and their whole purpose was to try to put me down because I didn't resign." On the other hand, after the whole debacle with Top Rank and Artem over, Shakur now faces another challenge of choosing a new promotional company. With this interest being shown by Shakur and his team, many prominent promoters including Eddie Hearn, Floyd Mayweather, and Oscar De La Hoya have come forward and have shown their interest in getting a contract with Shakur. Eddie Hearn, being the head of Matchroom and someone who promotes big names like Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez, had shown his interest in signing Shakur since it was announced that he would be leaving Top Rank. Always on the lookout for top-notch fighters, Eddie has stated countless times how Shakur is a talented fighter and has a relentless spirit that hasn't been utilized properly by Top Rank and Bob Arum.
If Shakur wants to pledge his future, then you make a significant investment. If it's a 2-3 fight deal, then he's going to be getting a lot of money and it's got to work for you as well. I think Shakur is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. He may be unbeatable, but I think he's been promoted terribly. And I think some of that is because when Bob knows a fighter's looking to leave, he's out. Like, this probably happened 2 or 3 fights ago. Shakur should be a massive star, but he's not. So that works for and against as well, in a sense that commercially, the money he's on a lot of money. I like him. I think he's a great fighter. I think he would be an incredible addition to the Matchroom team. And if he's available, we will definitely be having a conversation. Whether it works for both of us, we'll have to see. I said to him, he mentioned Shakur, and I said, I'm not paying him the money you're paying him, Bob. And he went, wow. So, yeah.
Talking about the successful fights he has made for new fighters like Jaron Ennis, Eddie emphasized how he is perfectly capable of taking a fighter to new heights of stardom, as seen with Boot Ennis, who not only has gained a respectful spot in the welterweight division, but has also won his most recent and much talked about the fight against David Avanesian, with the exceptional response from the fans, all thanks to the promotion done by Eddie Hearn. While giving an interview alongside Shakur, Eddie stated how he is going to meet with Shakur's team in the coming days to make a deal on how his company is the one who will make big fights happen for him, including the ones with Shallur's longtime nemesis Gervonta Davies. Eddie also praised Shakur for his vast abilities and skills at such a young age.
We're going to meet with Shakur and his team next week. We're going to have a sensible conversation. It's got to work for everybody. He's in a great position. He's probably one of the most talked about fighters in the world, just done a big gate, just done the biggest number on ESPN. He's 27 years old, he's a 3-division world champion, he's pound for pound great. He's in demand.
Sharing the same sentiment as Eddie, Shakur also stated that at this point in his career, he wants big fights to really stand out from others, and if that is something that Eddie can make possible for them, then he will most certainly consider a partnership with him. Also having some nice words to say about Eddie, Shakur emphasized how Eddie is without a doubt one of the best promoters in the industry who is not only respected by the fans, but also by his competitors. He stated, "I feel like Eddie Hearn is one of the best promoters in the game. I love the way he does his job, and I would definitely love to be a part of his stable, but I definitely am going to talk to everybody else and see what's the best available option. But for sure, I think he's one of the best in the game." With everyone waiting for Shakur to make the ultimate choice, many voices have also come forward to give their own opinions about who he should be moving forward with. Many pros in the boxing community seem to think that the best choice for Shakur at this point should be for him to go along with Eddie Hearn, as he is known for arranging big fights with maximum coverage. To prove their point, they bring up his latest one, which was the bout between Enes and Avanesian in the welterweight category, and the most hyped-up fight later this year between the one and only Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. Even fellow fighters have come forward to give their thoughts about who should be Shakur's next choice. The most notable name is Jaron Ennis. After winning his fight against David last Saturday by an exceptional knockout and defending his IBF world title, Jaron expressed his gratitude to Eddie for giving him such a big fight. Being a loyal supporter of Eddie, he also went ahead to inform Shakur about the benefits he might get if he decides to sign with Matchroom. He stated, "Eddie does great things. He treats his fighters right. You know, you going to have the proper homecoming. You are going to have just everything. He put that bullhorn behind you, and he does all the talking. All you gotta do is do the talk in the ring." With this tremendous win under Matchroom, it looks like Jaron Ennis is now looking for another big fight against Bud Crawford. And just like always, it looks like Eddie might make it happen, as right after Jaron's win, Eddie came forward to state how he can make this happen. For sure, if Terrence wins his fight against Madrimov on August 3rd. His Excellency, Turki Alalshik, also took to Twitter to praise Eddie for his excellent promotion of the fight, and expressed his joy in organizing another big fight between Ennis and Crawford at 154 soon. Being confident in his promoter's ability to make it happen, while still standing inside the ring, Jaron declared how he is now looking forward to this bout with Terrence. He stated, "Most definitely, let's make it happen, that's what I want. I want the big names. Terrence Crawford, anybody else in that weight class that got a big name, let's get it, and let's make it happen." Present at the event to see how a good promoted fight works, Shakur looked excited and amazed after seeing the overall fight and the sheer number of fans that came to see the bout take place. Conveying his emotions in an interview right after Ennis won, Shakur stated how he likes the overall vibe that Matchroom has and will look forward to the ultimate talk he and his team have with Eddie. When asked about who might win if a fight between Ennis and Bud happens, Shakur refrained from giving any solid answer.
I love the energy at Matchroom. I love the energy. What's the latest you can do with Eddie Hearn? What's the latest? You said what? What's the latest you can do with possible? We're going to talk, but like I said, I love the energy at Matchroom. Nah, I'm not answering that question. I love my big brother Bud. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I think Boots is the future of boxing.
After all this positive feedback, Eddie believes that when he sits down to have a meeting with Shakur's team, he does not have to say or do anything out of the ordinary to make Shakur sign with them, as his efforts on Ennis and other fighters are living proof that he can make anyone a huge star, given only that they show their trust in his abilities. Making his intentions clear, Eddie once again stated how he wants to sign Shakur so he can provide him with great opportunities in the future. He stated, "I've done a much better job than Top Rank promoting him over the last 12 months, and I don't even have a contract with him. Do you want to sign a 5-fight deal when it may stop you from getting certain fights?" He further added, "Maybe our discussions are a 1-2-3 fight deal. He needs that fluidity to be able to make those fights. Maybe we have something in our contract that says we don't even have to be involved in a Gervonta Davis fight, because I don't want Shakur to not get into those fights because of promotional dispute or ego." On the lookout for promoters, Shakur has also recently come forward and has shown his interest in fighting Zepeda, as he is one of the best fighters in the lightweight division. According to Shakur, he looks forward to fighting Zepeda in the future, as he is a great fighter with excellent fighting style and powerful punches. He then went on to say how after the disappointing fight that he had with Artem, due to the lack of fighting spirit displayed by him, he is finally looking forward to a worthy opponent who can bring out the best in him. Shakur said, "Hell of a fighter. He throws a bunch of punches, he's great with his own style, but a guy like that would bring the best out of me." Now Now, this is not the first time that a conversation about Shakur and Zepeda fighting has been highlighted by the mainstream media, as earlier this year in March, William Zepeda himself called out Shakur after he won against Maxie Hughes. William stated how Shakur is an opponent that he looks forward to fighting due to his excellent techniques, which will not only allow him to reach his highest potential, but will also result in him having a title after fighting a big name like Shakur.
Shakur Stevenson, I just wanted to see.
Te escuchó llamando a Shakur Stevenson.
Sí, ya queremos las mejores peleas, queremos destacar más en el boxeo, enfrentar a los grandes nombres y pues hay que reconocer que Shakur es uno de ellos.
Yes, I want the big names in boxing. We have to recognize that Shakur is one of those big names. I want to show what I'm about and what I'm able to do, and I believe that Shakur is that person that I need to prove for me to get there.
Why does William feel like he can have success against combinations like Shakur and will look to counter his combinations?
¿Por qué tú sientes que tú puedes ganar a Shakur Stevenson con tus combinaciones largas y precisas?
Sé que mi boxeo es el excelente para poder hacer una buena pelea con Shakur, enredarlo con el volumen de golpes y el trabajo en cuerpo. Creo que esa puede ser una gran respuesta.
I know that my style of boxing is perfect for Shakur. Throwing a lot of punches, making him confused, and just coming and pressuring him. I know that that's going to make me victorious in this fight.
Sharing the same sentiment about fighting Shakur, Zepeda manager Jamie Picos has expressed their game plan moving forward, stating how he wants the best fights for Zepeda as he is on his way to becoming an even bigger name. Having their eyes on the titles, Jaime expressed his intention of making a fight between Zepeda and Loma happen before they move forward to a fight with Shakur or Tank. He stated, "There's no easy fights on this level, man. I respect all the fighters, Lomachenko. He's a legend, we'd like to fight him. Then we wouldn't mind unifying against Shakur or Tank." He further added, "William has asked for Shakur, but there's a little delay there obviously with Golden Boy. They might have other plans for him, but as far as I know that fight's going to happen sooner rather than later." Looking at the past records of Zepeda, we can see why Shakur thinks that he will be a formidable opponent. Being promoted by none other than Oscar himself, Zepeda has an excellent record of 31 wins with 27 knockouts and 0 losses. Known for his excellent footwork and offensive style of fighting, this Mexican fighter with his southpaw stance has now become a notable name in the lightweight division. Looking at both the fighters and the potential of making a huge fight, Eddie also jumped right in saying how this fight would be the best option for Shakur to finally gain some lost respect, not only from his fans, but also from all the haters who think that he is boring. While defending Shakur from the backlash he received after his fight with Artem, Eddie thinks that this is not justified and can prove to be damaging for a young fighter like Shakur, who has no one to back him up right now as he is a free agent. Eddie stated, "I think that when people are spinning a narrative about someone being boring, if you like, then they're going to jump over every performance. You can't win, and I feel a bit for Shakur because he's a one-man band. It's Shakur against the world." He further added, "He's an outstanding talent, and I think he's going to look even better against fighters who come to fight and have similar qualities. I personally think the Williams-Zepeda fight is a great fight for him, obviously. He's a DAZN fighter as well, so that's a fight we could look to make." Moving on, it looks like Eddie is not the only one who looks confident that he can sign a contract with Shakur. Recently noticing all the hype around Shakur, Oscar De La Hoya has stepped forward to present himself as a contender in the race of who will sign Shakur in the end. As the owner of Golden Boy Promotions, a huge company that has promoted big names like Floyd Mayweather, Oscar thinks that if Shakur decides to sign with them, he can give him all the good fights that he is looking for. While in an interview, he stated, "I promoted Mayweather for 15-16 fights, and so there's kind of like a blueprint there, you know? He needs opponents. He needs the right names. He needs to fight William Zepeda. He's a tremendous, tremendous talent. I mean, probably one of the best top 3 guys out there seriously in the world." However, Oscar still expressed some concerns that despite being a young fighter, and a very good one at that, Shakur still has low marketability, which is something that was proved once again after his fight against Artem in his own hometown. Oscar also pointed out how Shakur needs some media grooming in this area under pressure, and due to his immense emotions, he makes some statements that do not settle well with his fans.
He's still young, but I'm not sure what his market value is, and that's where it's making it a little difficult. It made it difficult for Top Rank and Bob, determining what the value is. I mean, it doesn't help when Shakur tells the world, "Well, I don't fight for the people, I fight for me." Well, you got to fight for the fans. The fans pay you. The fans are the ones who buy the tickets, buy the pay-per-views. So regardless, look, I think Shakur is one of the best fighters out there. If it makes sense for us.
With Oscar now in the game as well after sitting down and having an official talk with Shakur's team, things really started heating up when Oscar made a tweet regarding how he would make the fight between Shakur and William Zepeda. But the condition for this is that Shakur first signs with Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar wrote in his tweet, "I had a great time with meeting Shakur Stevenson's representatives, but William Zepeda will only fight Shakur if he is signed with Golden Boy Promotions." After these ultimatums were made by Oscar, many people are not too pleased by this tactic, with some calling it out to be a poor attempt at publicity, while others think that this is a morally wrong move by De La Hoya, because at the end of the day, he is doing nothing but threatening a fighter with a statement on how he will take away his chance to fight a good contender that he wanted for so long just because he wants him to join his company. Not too pleased about this statement made by Oscar, Eddie blasted him in an interview saying that to make a move like this by a promotional company as big as Golden Boy is nothing but a disgrace because, in the end, you are showing people that all you care about is your own benefit, and you have no regard about giving a fighter the choice to decide for himself. Not stopping here, Eddie went on further to grill Oscar saying how he acts all high and mighty, while making comments like how badly he wants to work along with other fighters and promoters, and all he wants is to give the fans the best fights. But according to Edo, all this is nothing but an illusion to lure in fans and fighters in his web, like he has done countless times before. Eddie said he'd only make the fight if Shakur was with Golden Boy, which is a disgrace to boxing actually. This is from a guy that says promoters should work together. The best should fight the best. Now you can only get Zepeda if you're with Golden Boy, which is bizarre. Now the beef between Eddie and Oscar is not new. Both of them have been at each other's throats since the start of their promotional journeys, but this escalated especially after Eddie decided to promote Oscar's arch nemesis, Canelo. So with both of them now looking at the same fighter to make him a part of their respective companies, it's no wonder that the feud between these two is now more fierce than ever. With matters now escalating even further, the ultimate decision now rests on Shakur and his team, with some reports even claiming that he might end the drama by taking up Oscar's offer, as it will ensure him the fight with Zepeda, while others think that Shakur will still show some loyalty towards his longtime mentor Floyd and join his ranks to not only have a good promoter who understands him, but also to rile up Gervonta Davies. But still, the most common consensus is Shakur joining Matchroom, as even he himself has stated countless times how he thinks that Eddie is the best option for him at this moment. With this being said, who do you think Shakur should choose? So in the end, just like always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below.